All right, so I'm going to show you how to edit your website or build a completely new one. So if you come to the sites right here, you will see menu options at the top. And you'll notice that the website builder, which is your free website, is under funnels. And if you go to websites, there's nothing in there. Now you may not see all this other stuff up here, but you'll definitely see funnels, websites, and forms. So you might be wondering, what's the difference between a funnel and a website? They're very similar. The builder is very similar, but the idea is a funnel would be like a landing page where you're just really wanting somebody to take an action. And a website could be that, or more just like informational. The other big difference is the actual page you see when you click on it here. With the funnels, it's going to look like this, and there's just a few steps in the funnel. And then you can also do A/B testing with different variations if you wanted to try like 2 different landing pages. Where a website, where it'll look something like this, where you've got your different pages and stuff. So let's go ahead and open up your free website and start editing it. So you just click here, and then you're going to press edit right here. So you can see that everything is kind of click and drag and edit. So if I wanted to say change the text here, I would just click here, and I could change this to my vision or something like that. Now, any of these changes you make, you can save them and then view them here, but you want to press publish for it to actually take effect when you go to the website. You can just skip the save and press publish, and it will save and publish at the same time. Now you'll notice that there's all these, it says custom value business name, custom value business name. That's pulling the information from, let me show you, if we go back, settings, and we go to custom values from here. So you'll notice your business name, phone number, all that is listed here. So if you wanted to make a change, you could come in here and just change that. That way, if you have something like your phone number written 10 times on your website in different areas, if you use a custom value, you could just change it here and it'll change it in all those areas versus having to go and find it in each individual spot and change it. And you can create new custom values and do that as well. And if you don't like that too, you can just come in here and type in your actual business name. So you'll see every time I hover over, there's a bunch of different things going on, and you'll see like bigger, smaller things like, header, website, section at the bottom right there, you'll see it. If you come over here and you click on layers, this will show you each layer, and then you can always drop these down. And then when you click on them, like see when I click here, it's highlighting that column, and then when I click there, it's that one. So you can get a better idea of like what everything is, and you can, clone it, edit it, which just can be helpful for certain situations. Most of it though, I usually just do in here. So you'll notice when you click on different areas, on the right hand side is where you can modify that. So for instance, I'm going to click on this button here, and we can see the background color is green. So if I wanted to change that to red, I could do that. If I wanted to make it, somewhat like transparent or any of these, you have all those options there. And you can create a custom color if you don't like these pre-picked ones, with the hex finder and, here, and choices are endless. You can adjust the letter spacing, the font size, and then something that's really helpful is this is your desktop mode. This is your mobile mode. So if I click there, you're going to see what it looks like in mobile. So you can also click here and go back and forth between desktop and mobile. And you can see for mobile, we want the font size small enough so that you don't have this going on. So we'll put it at 20 so that it looks right. But then when we're on the desktop, we have it at 28. We could even make it bigger if we wanted to. We could go to like 36 and just take up all that room. Whatever you like and looks best. The font weight is like how bold you want it to be. See how that made it a lot more bold? And I think you get the idea. There's a lot of different things you can do in here. The margin and padding is really helpful for fine-tuning and tweaking things. You can click here and you can move this around. You can also just reset it. And a helpful tip is, if you haven't saved it, you can go back and it won't save. So just press OK. And if you're worried about messing this up and not getting back to where you were, you can come back to the beginning here and press clone and just make a backup copy of the website. So that way, if you change it too much and you don't like it, you can still go back to the original and see it. So that's a quick little tip there for you. So we'll go back to this button here, but you can affect the padding, so like how much green there is based on the text. And again, you can go back and forth between desktop and mobile. Here's your text options. So, you know, if you put extra letters in there or whatever you want to put in there, you can make it. And then here's the button action. So this is actually going to open a pop-up, but there's a lot of other options in here. I see the part of the screen I'm recording, you can't see all of it, but there's a lot of different things you can have that button do. All right, now for animations, this is really cool. If you like animations when you go to a site, you can see how that kind of like comes in, you know, move it around, up, down. You've got all kinds of different options here, so that when somebody first comes to the site, you know, there's a little bit of animation there, kind of drawing their eye and attention to that part of the website. So these are really cool. You don't have to use them, just, you know, use your best judgment for what you think is great, but I really do like the ability that this is built right in. And then you've got your advanced. The best part about the advanced that I use a lot is you can see right here visibility. This is saying that this will be visible on both desktop and mobile, but what you can do is you can say, hey, this just doesn't look right when I go to the mobile version. So you could turn it off so that if we go to our mobile version, it's gone. And you could actually put something new here and do the opposite, to where you're going to turn that off for desktop but on for mobile, so that you literally have kind of a different little version based on whether or not you're using desktop or mobile, which comes in handy in a lot of cases. But you can see if I turn that back on, it'll show up under mobile. All right, and then you'll also notice like this is a button, so the options I have here is different than right here because this is text. You can see you got a lot of different options with the text in terms of colors, the typical stuff you'd expect, and you know, possibilities are endless. And again, you can have the animations with the text if you want to, and then you've got those advanced options. You can even turn whole sections off, so that on the desktop this section is completely gone, or if I turn it back on, it's there, just depending on where you click. Now if you like something, you can just click this duplicate and it'll duplicate it, and then if you don't like it, you can trash it. All right, so now let's say that you want to add some stuff. So if you come to this plus button here, you can see you've got a lot of different things that you can add. So there's sections, that's the biggest thing. So if I wanted to say a full width section at the bottom here, I could add that. And then within the sections, you can have, you know, different amounts of rows. And then you've got your elements, whether it's text, a button, a form, which we'll talk about in a minute, all these different options, which I'm not going to go over all of them. This would be a really long video, but you kind of understand the idea. So one really cool thing is you've got this pre-built sections, which just has a nice little options and pre-built things for you, so you can just immediately drop those in. Pre-built buttons, social media icons. So this is where you would add new stuff. So if we wanted to say like full width right here, and then I want to add, you know, say 4 columns. So I've got each column, I can put something in there, and I want to do like a bullet point list. And then you just come here and add more stuff. Trash this real quick if we don't like it. You could put a video in here, a bunch of other stuff. And when it comes to video, I find it easiest with YouTube. You're just going to put in the URL. I usually upload a video, mark it as unlisted, and then do that. But you can also use these other options, or if you host the video within the website, it'll be here where you can actually like upload the video. So let's go to an image and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to put an image in there, and then under here with image options, I'm going to click there, and this is where you can put stuff. So you can like upload anything from your computer, and then if I double click here, it'll put that image in there for me. And then if I just click here, I can change it out. You can connect it to your Google Drive. You can create folders. This is basically where all your media will be for everything within this website builder, and if you get the CRM. So these pre-built sections are nice. Like maybe you want to put some team members, and then swap out these pictures for your team, put in, you know, their title, this and that. Maybe you want to delete some because you only have 4 or whatever it is. It's nice that you can do that. And then of course, if we want to get rid of stuff, we can just hit the trash can and get back to where we were. If you're having a hard time like getting to the section and hit the trash can, that's when the layers can be helpful to like just go to that spot and then hit delete from here. If you have more than one pages, they'll be listed here. This is where you can put in tracking codes. So like if you need something in the footer or the header, it says like add this to your website to track something for like a pixel, you could do it there. You can enter custom CSS if you know much about coding. So you can actually even add code. So like let's look at an example right here. We've got this custom code right here, and this is what is in there, right? So if you want to see how that looks without going to the preview here, you can actually come up here and click on preview custom codes. And now you can see like, oh, that's what that looks like, which can be really helpful. All right, and then we've got this right here, which is your pop-up settings. So the pop-up that we put in there is the lead form where they would fill out their information, and that's going to get emailed to you. So you can create different forms and you can put them in different areas. And there's two ways you can get to editing the form. One way, if it's just on your website somewhere, so in this case, we're on the pop-up settings, you'll see this edit form. I could click there and it's going to take me to the form. The other way is when you're on sites, you can go to Forms Here Builder and you can create new forms. And we'll click on this lead form, which is the one that's on your website. And this is it, and this is how you'd edit it. So over here, you can add other things. So if you wanted to collect more than just name, phone number, email, like maybe you want the address, you could put that in there. And then when you click on something, you can actually edit what you want it to say and stuff. So maybe I don't want the country or the postal code, or I'm sorry, the state. I just want it to look like that. And for the placeholder, instead of it saying address, I could put like street, if you prefer that or something. And then obviously if I want to get rid of it, I just click the X here, and it's very similar to the website builder. You can even do custom fields and add in just like anything you want, right? So just make something up, whether it's a single line, multi-line, maybe it's a drop down. Again, I'm not going to get into all this because it'd be a super long video, but you can build forms here. One of the coolest things with forms is you can have something called conditional logic. So you could say, I'm going to click here and go show hide fields. So I'm going to say if full name, and then I'll say is filled, then show email, save. So what that'll do is they're not going to see this email until after the filling that name out. This isn't the best example, but I'll press preview. But I'll show you once I start putting in a name, then the email shows up, versus when I delete it, there is no email. So that's a poor example. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. But you can do really cool things with this logic. And then the form itself, you know, these are the editing options for each individual thing. But if you click here, you can actually affect the whole form itself. And one of the most important things is the options here on submit. This is the message that it's going to show them. So you could change this message to say whatever you want. You could also, instead of saying show a message, you could have it go to a different website or some URL. So this is your form. So let's go back to our site here. And when we go to the pop-up, this is where that form is coming from. So I can click here, and if we had multiple forms, I could swap out the form. And then you can see this button here. I've got options, use action from form builder. So whatever action we said in the form builder, which was display a message, that's what it's going to do. Or I could say, hey, I want it to go to a different website or different web page within the site, or the next step if it's a funnel, because they're usually done in steps. All right, so that's just a really quick, brief rundown of the website editor, how it works, and enough to get you started. In the future, I'll make more in-depth videos, and we have a lot of cool things coming.